is about this lecture is about studying the test format for IELTS academic writing test. Academic writing test. Now overall this is of 60 minutes in total. So you'll be given 1 hour to solve this test or task. Or so there are two types of task under this writing test, and that is a task 1 and second is task 2. So under task 1 you'll be presented with a graph. Okay, you'll be given with either a graph, or you'll be given with a table or a chart or a diagram, and you will be asked to describe it. So out of these you will be asked to describe it, summarize it, or explain it. Whatever the information will be given in any of these in our own words, and we may be asked to describe and explain the data, describe the stages of a process, or how something works, and describe an object or event. In task 2 we'll be asked to write an essay. Okay, so we'll be asked to write an essay or response to a point of view, argument, or problem. So in task 1 you'll have the limit of, like, you'll have to write more than 150 words, that is not less than 150 words, and you'll be allotted a total of 20 minutes of time. And in essay you'll have to write not less than 250 words, and for that you'll be given 40 minutes. Now the thing is that in total you'll be given 60 minutes, but this is the time that you should work on and manage, because essay is more important, the most important part, and it has more weightage than task 1. Also it has the word limit is higher than task 1, therefore 40 minutes to be spent on task 2, and on task 1 20 minutes to be spent. So if you are writing less than 150 words, your marks will be deducted, and here if you're writing less than 250 words, again your marks will be deducted. Okay, so overall the number of questions that you will be given will be 2. That is 1 question for task 1 and 1 question for task 2. So total 2 questions will be there in writing assessment. Now what are the task types? In task 1 the test taker is asked to describe some visual information that can be, as we said, that graph, table, chart, diagram, in their own words, and they need to write 150 words about in about 20 minutes. And in task 2 they respond to a point of view, argument, problem, and they need to write 250 words in about 40 minutes. Now in task 1 basically, okay, I'm going to remove this so that I can continue. In task 1 what will happen is that you'll have to describe the facts or figures presented in whatever they might give you, whether they'll give you a graph or a chart or a table, and they can also give you a diagram. A diagram can also be given. Let's say, for example, a machine or of a process, and you'll be asked to tell us how it works. So you'll have to describe its mechanism based on looking at the diagrams and the labeling. So one should write in an academic what kind of language to be used. So we'll use academic or semi-formal or neutral style. Semi-formal or a neutral style of writing, and include the most important, most relevant points in the diagram only. You do not have to write any other gitcher picture in this. So write only the most important or the most relevant points that are related to the diagram or the graph only, and some minor points or details can be or may be left out. Okay, you should spend no more than 20 minutes. If you have spent more than 20 minutes on just this thing, it is a danger for you, because then you'll have no time left for task 2. So don't spend any more than 20 minutes. You should write at least 150 words, and you will be penalized if the answer is too short, but not for writing more than 150 words. So you can write for more than 150 words, but I would recommend that if you're writing more than 150 words, then you can go like 160 or 170, because again we'll have to keep in mind the 20 minutes timeline. But if you're writing less than 150 words, you'll be penalized. And should remember that a longer task 1 answer may mean that you have less time to spend on task 2, which contributes to 2 times as much as writing band score. You'll be penalized for irrelevance if response is off topic. So if there is any irrelevance in your writing, or if you have went off topic, then also you will be penalized or marks will be deducted. And or is not written in a full connected text, example using bullet points. So you'll have to write in full like sentences and not use bullet points for. And you'll be severely penalized for plagiarism, that is copying from another source. Okay, now very important, we'll talk about task focus. So task focus is that what actually is the aim of this task. So it assesses the ability to identify the most important and relevant information and trends in a graph, chart, or table, or diagram for that matter, and to give a well organized overview of it using language accurately in an academic style. So what they said is that the task focuses that it judges the ability to identify the most important and relevant information and trends. It can be in a graph, chart, or table or diagram, and to give a well organized overview of it using language accurately in an academic style. So that is what the task focus is, and obviously the number of questions asked is 1. A single question is asked. Now if I talk about task 2, I'm talking about task 2. Then we are given with a topic to write about an academic or semi-formal or neutral style. Again, the same thing. Answers should be discursive consideration of the relevant issues, and we should make sure that they read the task carefully. So reading, again let me highlight this, it's very important to read the task carefully. Okay, this is the most important line and it can't be highlighted more. So read the task carefully and provide a full and relevant response. So the response should be full. You should not miss out on the sub parts of the question, and it should be a relevant answer. Should not spend more than 40 minutes on this task. Should at least write 250 words and penalized if it's short, lesser than 250 words. Will not be penalized for writing more than 250 words. If they write long answers, they might not have the time for checking and correcting at the end some ideas, and may not directly and may not be directly relevant to the question also, because the more you write, the more chances are there for you to make mistakes. So task 2 contributes two times as much to the final writing band as score in task 1. So the test taker who fails to attempt to answer this task will greatly reduce the chances of achieving a good band. So now we'll talk about the task focus. So it assesses the ability to present clear, relevant, and well organized arguments, giving evidence or examples to support ideas. I'm writing this out so that it is important for you to understand what actually is the main agenda for this task, and if you have understood the aim and goals, then it will be better when you attempt the question. So it assesses the ability to present whatever you're presenting. It is in a clear way, it is relevant, and it is a well organized argument. It is not a hodgepodge argument that you are giving one thing and then you're giving the one argument and you're giving the example for it in the next argument. So you are giving evidence and examples to support your ideas and use the language correctly. So how many clear, relevant, well organized arguments, giving examples to support ideas and using the language correctly. That's what they want to judge out of this task. And total number of questions in this task is only one question will be asked. Now there is something known as marking and assessment. Marking and assessment. So for that, the assessment of task 2 carries more weightage in marking than task 1. So task 1 में और task 2 में there are total of 4 parameters on which you will be judged in both task 1 and task 2. So क्या parameters रहेंगे वो task 1 और task 2 के? I'll be writing it down here. Out of these 4, only one is there which is uncommon and 3 are there which is common. So I'll first discuss the one that is uncommon, and that is in task 1, the first parameter on which will be given marks for is task achievement. Task achievement and task response, and then the others are pretty similar. So pretty similar nahi, exactly similar hai in both task 1 and task 2. The next one which you will be judged will be coherence and cohesion. Coherence and cohesion. Lexical resources and grammatical range and accuracy. Now why we are discussing these parameters is very simply I'm explaining. When you were in 10th class, you would write an answer and you would know how to write it, so in order to achieve good points. I am writing an answer. My band score means a lot for me to get into any foreign university, since we are talking about academics. And then if I am fully aware, I will save not only my time but my money also by not repeating the test for achieving the good grades over and over again. So अगर I am writing task 1 answer or response, or I'm writing task 2 answer or response, if I have these 4 things in my minds, then with the help of just a little bit other sources, I'm going to achieve a good band score more than 8 or 9. Now what will happen is that I'm going to start from these 3. I am talking about coherence, cohesion, lexical sources, grammatical range and accuracy, because these are common. So I'll first explain the common ones and then I'm going to look up to what these two mean, the uncommon ones. So coherence and cohesion in simple terms means आपका जो आंसर है वो एक सीक्वेंस में होना चाहिए and that sequence should make sense. So अगर मैं सेकेंड नंबर की बात करूँ, that is coherence and cohesion, In very simple words, it should be in sequence, and that sequence should make sense, so it should be in a logical order. Okay, just as we write a answer in our classrooms, right? We write the first point and then we discuss it in the second and the third, exactly the same way. So what it concerns is, it concerns the overall clarity and fluency. Overall clarity and fluency, how the response is organized. Okay, how the response is organized and links information, ideas and language. Okay, so coherence refers to, अगर coherence की बात करी जाए, so coherence refers to linking of ideas. Let me write it here itself. Coherence refers to linking of ideas, and how we achieve it? By logical sequencing. Nothing here is a robot, like nothing like here is very, you don't have to get all scientific and technical here. Just simply you have to link your ideas in an order which would make sense. And cohesion refers to varied and appropriate use of cohesive devices. So cohesion means the usage of cohesive devices. Now what does this mean? That instead of using and but over and over again, I'm going to use in addition to, or however, therefore, meanwhile, on the other hand. All these basically all the logical connectors which we'll be studying in detail, pronouns and conjunctions. Whatever way you can make the checker or make the examiner feel that you are a smart person and you have the control over language. So I am able to explain and think and analyze, and I'm able to write it down in a language that is English. So that is what you'll be doing. So these all is done to assist in making a conceptual and differential relationship between and within the sentences clear. Now second one is lexical resources. Lexical resources is nothing but vocabulary. So the range of vocabulary used. Okay, what range of, and these all that I'm speaking is actually given on their website. So I'll attach many screenshots which have the same information. Like I'm not saying it from my own, like I felt like okay this is the thing. I'm actually telling this from actual resources. So range of vocabulary and its accuracy and appropriacy in terms of specific tasks. So range of vocabulary means instead of writing students, I can also write pupils in sentences. Do not repeat words over and over again. To use band 9 words, which we'll be studying in detail in the coming lecture series. So you have the range of vocabulary. Then grammatical range and accuracy means whatever language that you're using is actually grammatically correct as manifested in their sentence writing. Using complex sentences more. So this is also a parameter. Now task achievement. For task 1, what do you mean by before doing that, very simply, like these are the 2 points that are uncommon in both the tasks, and these 3 are common in both the tasks. So if I'll have to achieve good marks, what I'm going to do is, firstly, whenever I'm writing an answer, I will write it in a logical sequence that it makes sense. I'll gain point for coherence, and then for cohesion I'll make use of logical connector, pronouns and conjunctions. So I'll be gaining marks there and there. This I've kept in my mind. Now thirdly, for lexical sources, I will read a lot where I'll find good words, band 9 words. These are smart words, like uncommon words which are used for writing a good like essay or report writing. You can use these words. So find those words We will also provide you with the list. You can find it out on your own. And the best way to score marks in this point, lexical resources, is actually by practicing. So whatever word you are getting it, whatever word you are learning, you'll have to practice it so that it is feeded in your mind, so that you have the habit of writing that particular word while making a sentence. Okay, reading it, only reading will not help, so you'll have to practice and make it a habit of using. Then I'll take care of my grammar. So these 3 points ऐसे ही हम ध्यान रख लेंगे, will score a good marks. And then let's study what is there in task achievement and task response. So task achievement is basically, what does it talks about? Okay, task achievement, it assesses, first of all, it assesses, pardon my writing, it assesses how appropriately, accurately, and relevantly, how appropriately, accurately, and relevantly I'm answering or I'm writing the response, and it should fulfill the requirements set out in the task. Fulfill the requirements set out in the task using a minimum of 150 words. So मेरा टास्क अचीवमेंट मैं कैसे इसमें स्कोर कर पाऊंगी कि टास्क 1 में मुझे कहा है इस ग्राफ को देखो एंड मेक अ रिपोर्ट ऑन इट यूजिंग not less than 150 words. You can also make comparisons wherever possible. अब मेरे पास कुछ ऐसे ट्रेंड दिए हैं ग्राफ में. This is a line graph, very roughly I have drawn. So how appropriately, कितने appropriately, कितनी accurately और कितनी relevantly. Relevantly means without going off the topic, I'm answering the response which fulfills the task requirements. If I'm missing out on details, if I misread the graph and I'm not reporting accurately, if I went off topic and I'm giving examples, that is like giving comparisons which is not at all relevant to the question, then I will lose marks in task achievement. So task achievement is nothing sort of like a rocket science. You just have to read the question very carefully, highlight the keywords, and then answer. Now, basically, and it is an information transfer task that relates narrowly to the factual contents. Now, why they have mentioned factual content? Because it is not like writing an essay where you can use your imagination, you can come up with examples. You have to stick to the information that is provided to you. You cannot use personal examples. If you're writing a report, writing or a graph, a picture is shown to you and you have to write a report on it, you have to use this as the source. You cannot say I think, I believe. You cannot use this words. There you'll lose marks in relevancy. And so basically it is an information transfer task, and it narrowly relates to the factual content of an input diagram and not use speculative explanation, that is risky or unproven ideas that lies outside the given data. So that's what exactly I've explained, that you cannot use I think, I believe. A speculation explanation cannot be given. You just have to say that okay, from this year to this year, this trend, an upward trend was observed, and then from this year to this year, a downward trend was observed for this thing. Okay, so whatever is given in the question, you have to make use of that, and you have to write in not less than 150 words. So what it is, how you have to write it, that all will be explained in detail. You don't need to worry about. Coming on to task 2. टास्क 2 में आता है समथिंग नोन एज टास्क रिस्पॉन्स. अब टास्क रिस्पॉन्स में आपको कैसे जज किया जाएगा कि टास्क 2 रिक्वायर्स टास्क 2 how you are formulating to formulate and to develop a position in relation to a given prompt in the form of a question or statement. Okay, so the idea should be supported by evidence and examples and can be drawn by your own experience. Here you can use examples, here you can use your own experiences to support the argument. Whatever, suppose I'm given a question, for example, that our online class is better than offline classes. What is your view? So this is my task 1. in that I'll have to write which of them is better. So I'll write, in my view, online classes are better. Okay, the vocabulary what we'll be using will be discussed in the later on series. So online classes में आपने बोला कि they are better. Now another question they have asked, if so, explain how. So you'll have to explain कि how online is better than offline. And then the third sub part of the question, they said give examples. So then you have to make examples to show how actually is online better than offline. You can use your own experience. COVID times mein you face something, you can write that COVID-19. Yeah, so this is what is task response. If you missed out on giving example, if you missed out on explaining how, automatically your marks will be deducted. Now, as per them, what does a band 9 answer? I never ever, even me myself, when I'm studying, never looked at what does band 8 answer. Band 8 answer, if you are scoring a 8 band in writing, what do they expect from you? I always look at band 9. So we should always aim at the highest band score. So band 9 का descriptor क्या है? In task achievement, so now we are talking about task 1, because coherence, cohesion, lexical sources, grammatical, all these are common. So task achievement fully satisfies all requirements of the task and clearly presents a fully developed response. So that is a band 9 descriptor for task achievement. For task response in task 2, so fully addresses all parts of the task. So first of all, आपने सारे parts of the task को at least address किया. अब उसमें grammatical error, band 9 words use है कि नहीं, they'll judge that afterwards. So presents a fully developed positioning answer to the question with relevant, fully extended and well supported ideas. So you are giving a good argument based on examples. कोहेरेंस कोहेशन के पैरामीटर पे बैंड 9 स्कोर कब स्कोर करोगे? जब uses cohesion in such a way that it attracts no attention and skillfully manages paraphrasing. नहीं, skillfully manages paraphrasing. So paraphrasing is also important in here. We'll study it in detail in the later on classes. Now lexical resources may uses a wide range of vocabulary with very natural and sophisticated control of lexical features. Rare and minor errors occurs only as slips. So obviously rare minor errors, but slip of tongue or slip of language. Okay. Grammatical range and accuracy, how they'll judge on this parameter if you want to score band 9. Uses a wide range of structures with full flexibility and accuracy. Rare minor error occurs only as slips. So they want you to write complex statements, they want you to write complex sentences, simple sentences, composite sentences, and they want you to have a good grammatical range, good wide range of structures with good flexibility and accuracy. So this was all about a general idea of academic writing style. What are the tasks given, what is the task focus, band 9 descriptors. Next lecture series we will look at the task 1 in detail. Task 1 के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. Till then, like, share and subscribe.